I still remember the sound of the trains outside my window, that low metallic rumble that used to remind me how close I was to the world I wanted, yet how far I truly stood from it. I grew up in a part of Brooklyn most people never visit, not because it was dangerous, but because it was invisible. My name's John Carter, and this is the story of how I fell in love with someone far beyond my world. Her name was Elena Montgomery, a name that sounded like money, like marble floors and glass elevators. Everything I didn't have. Her family lived on the hill that overlooked the East River. I lived in the narrow streets below it. And yet, somehow, our worlds collided. It started one late afternoon in June. I was working my part-time job at a local cafe, a quiet spot tucked between brownstones, when she walked in. She looked like she didn't belong there, and maybe that's why I noticed her. She ordered a black coffee and sat by the window with a notebook full of half-written words. When I asked if she was a writer, she smiled. That kind of smile that doesn't just happen on your face, it happens in your eyes. That was the beginning. Elena wasn't like the others I'd seen in her world. She was kind, curious, and she listened, really listened, when I spoke. She didn't seem to care that I wore hand-me-down shirts or that my shoes were a little too worn. We started talking every day. She'd come in after her university classes, always with a new story to tell, always asking about my dreams. And for the first time, I started to believe that maybe dreams could belong to someone like me too. Weeks turned into months. We began walking through the park after my shifts, eating cheap street pretzels, laughing about the little things that made life feel light. She told me about her world, her father, a powerful real estate developer, her mother, the perfect socialite. They had plans for her. Law school, a marriage to someone appropriate. I could hear the ache in her voice when she talked about it. She wanted freedom, and I wanted to give her that. We kept our love quiet. No one from her family knew about me, and truth be told, I didn't blame her. I was the poor boy with too many dreams and too few options. But when we were together, none of that mattered. We found our own world between train rides and streetlights, between the city noise and the silence of stolen moments. There's something beautiful about young love. It doesn't care about consequences. It only knows what it feels in the moment. And in those moments, I thought love was enough. I thought love could conquer the world. But I was wrong. Because life, especially life in this city, doesn't run on love. It runs on power, money, and family names. And soon that reality came knocking on her door. One night she called me crying. Her father had found out, not about me directly, but about someone. Someone who wasn't good enough. Someone who wasn't one of them. He told her if she didn't end things, he'd cut her off completely. No school, no home, no inheritance. I remember standing on that bridge with her, the wind cold and sharp, her hand trembling in mine. She kept saying, "I don't want to lose you," and I believed her. But love can't always survive the weight of reality. Sometimes the world is heavier than the heart can carry. That night was the last time I saw her for months. She disappeared. No calls, no messages, nothing. And the cafe, once filled with her laughter, became just a place again. An empty chair by the window, a cup that never got refilled. But I never stopped waiting. Because when you love someone like that, time doesn't move forward. It just circles the same memories over and over again. 2 years passed, 2 long, empty years. Brooklyn kept moving. New faces in the cafe, new skyscrapers scraping the sky. But my world stayed the same. I still woke up early for work, still rode the same trains, still looked out at the same skyline where she used to live. Every time the sun hit the glass towers, I wondered if she was up there somewhere, remembering me. I told myself I'd moved on. I even tried dating again, but no one ever had her laugh. No one ever looked at me the way she did. It's funny how love leaves fingerprints on your soul that no time can erase. Then one evening, out of nowhere, she walked back into my life. It was late, the cafe almost closing. The doorbell chimed softly, and I looked up. There she was, Elena. She looked different, older, maybe colder. wearing a long beige coat and a sadness behind her smile. For a moment, I thought I was dreaming. I didn't know whether to run to her or walk away. She sat down by the same window as before, the same seat where our story began. And just like that, all the years, all the silence, melted away. We talked for hours and about everything and nothing. She told me she'd been in London for school, about her mother's illness, about how her father still tried to control every part of her life, but there was something she didn't say, something she hid behind her tired eyes. Finally, I asked, and that's when the truth broke me. She was engaged to someone I'd seen on billboards, a wealthy investment heir, one of those names that owns half of Manhattan, her family's dream match, her father's final victory. I tried to smile. I said all the right things. I'm happy for you. You deserve the world. But inside, I was breaking all over again. Still, she kept coming back. Every evening, after her meetings uptown, she'd find her way to my cafe. We didn't call it love anymore. We didn't call it anything, but it felt like we were stealing hours from the universe. Hours that didn't belong to us. One night, after weeks of quiet visits, we went for a walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. The city lights shimmered like reflections of what we could have been. And under that cold sky, she finally said it. The words I'd been afraid to hear. I never stopped loving you, John. I froze. Those words. They should have healed me, but they didn't. Because I knew she couldn't stay. She was trapped in a world built by money and obligation, a golden cage that even love couldn't break open. I wanted to ask her to run away with me. I wanted to believe that love could still be enough. But the truth is, I had nothing to offer her but hope. And hope doesn't pay rent in New York City. The next week, I stopped hearing from her. Calls unanswered, messages unread. And then I saw it. Her engagement photo, plastered across social media, her hand in his, her smile, perfect, practiced. The same smile she used to give me when she meant it. I stared at that photo for hours. And for the first time, I understood that sometimes love isn't stolen from us. It's surrendered, because we can't hold on to someone who belongs to another life. That night, I closed the cafe early, walked home under the same train tracks where we first met, and I cried. Not because she was gone, but because she was never really mine to begin with. In that silence, I realized something painful and true. Sometimes love doesn't destroy you. It shapes you. It teaches you who you are, what you deserve, and what you must let go of to find peace. And that was the night I decided to let her go. If it were you, what would you have done? Write your opinion in the comments section.